Hey everybody, it's Garrett here with Youngblood Ag. Just wanted to send my apologies out. We've been a little bit busy here in the shop, so I haven't been posting very many videos, and I know Pete hasn't either. But we have made it through harvest, finally. We are actually in the application stage for fall application, and we are in the middle of doing a bunch of projects here in the shop. So I'm going to kind of give you an overview as to what we got going on, and what we've been working on here through the fall. So as you can see, our shop is pretty much full. We've got very little room left in it right now because we've got so many projects that we've got going on, and they've been talking for a little bit of snow here and there, so we're trying to keep all of our customer equipment inside as best we can anyway. But I'm just going to kind of give you an overview on this project that we've been working on basically since before fall, honestly. And this has been quite the project that we've been dealing with, but we're getting through it finally and making quite a bit of headway on it now. So when this planter came in, it was just a bar with row units on it. So we ended up putting, it started out as going to be just a male corn planter for seed corn here in Iowa, but they actually decided that they wanted to do all the rows instead, and we are actually going to try and put lockups on it so that way they can lock up each individual row if they want for doing seed corn for male and female rows. If you guys don't know what seed corn is or how it grows, feel free to YouTube it because there are a lot of videos on how it's grown. A lot of times they see a 4-1 or a 4-2 pattern, so you have 4 female rows to 2 male rows. So depending on what hybrids they are mixing and trying to mate together, they might plant them all at the same time, or they might plant the females earlier than the males or the males earlier than the females. It just kind of depends. So with all the producers around here, they like to be able to lock each row up, just because depending on what situation they are in, they might have to lock them all up. So this row, or this planter, came in as just a bar with row units on it, like I said. We went through and all the parallel arms were shot, so we actually updated these parallel arms to what I would call the 05 series Kinsey parallel arms. So they are actually a parallel arm with a pressed in bushing on each end, and then they add another bushing within that bushing to act as your parallel arm bushings. So there's 2 bushings on each end. So what that does is allows us to, when these bushings get worn out, we can actually go through and remove the pressed in bushings and put new ones in it. So you don't actually have to buy a whole new set of parallel arms because they are spendy. You buy a lot of steel there. So instead of buying a $150 lower parallel arm because it's all one piece, you spend $20 and put new bushings all the way around it with a little bit of labor. So that's one thing that we did on this. We are actually keeping the original disc openers on it because they weren't that terrible, but we did put inner and outer scrapers on it and went through, re-shimmed all the disc openers and the gauge wheels. This planter is actually getting sure force and sure speed on it. So on this row, I've actually got all the hydraulic done for the hydraulic downforce, the RCM2 mounted, and then I've got the delivery tube installed also. This is going to be a box planter, of course, because there is no central fill. This planter was not originally equipped with vacuum, so we are in the process of trying to mount up vacuum tubes. So the vacuum tubes will be coming from Precision Planting because they use a 3-inch tube instead of a 4-inch tube like what Ag Leader uses, and that'll help us with our space requirements here on this planter. Because as you can see, if I get my camera to focus, between the generator and this tube, there is not much room. So with not having a double bar like a 3600, we have run into a lot of space constraints And with the way this thing folds, this outside wing actually folds up and will be above the center rows. So there's a lot of pinch points and twist points and all of that. And I'm sure I probably unfolded and folded this planner probably 40 times in the last couple weeks just to make sure everything clears. So we've got our generator mounted out on the left side. The reason we did that is because it is of course so big. So when it is folded up, it will actually be on top of the planner, clear up in the air. And we opted to put it on the left side because as you go underneath trees and that sort of thing in the small towns that we have around here, you're liable to catch stuff on the right-hand side. So the generator actually sits lower than what the boxes are, which is honestly better because at least you'll hit the boxes before you'll hit the generator. But we opted to put it on the left side because you're more closer to the center of the road, so you'll be farther away from the trees. So moving on, we've actually got our hydraulic downforce block mounted here in the center, right behind our third link hook. And it is as close as humanly possible to this vac fan that we've got mounted here. So it's very tight, and once it is all hooked up, it is gonna be a pain to try and get anything hooked up. So we are making a little bit extra long hoses so that way the customer can back up to it and get close and hook all of his hydraulic lines up and all of his electrical, and then actually back up and hook to it so that way he doesn't have to get in here to try and hook everything up with it actually mounted on the tractor. One other note on the vacuum, so with this bar, the way it folds, this outside wing will be stacked on top. That's why they call it a stack fold. So Kinsey actually made a stack fold planner with edge vacs on it, and they had a vacuum fan mounted in between the rows. It was a similar fan to this design, but it was really long and narrow, and it actually stuck out between these two row units. Well, we can't order a complete fan from Kinsey. We actually had to part it out, and to try and part everything out, it was going to be several $1,000s to try and retrofit this old planner with the new Kinsey fan. So we opted to go for the egg leader, and we actually had to put our 4-inch setbacks that you'd find on a 3600 in the rear 4 rows on these 2 center rows to get everything to clear nicely. So we are actually going to add a vac tube right down here in the center that goes out, and it will have to come out and basically have a snake, or what I call a flexi hose, out here and around, and we're going to mount another tube out here on this bottom bar, or this fold bar. So it will actually have 3 separate tubes out here. And then as it comes out down here, it'll 90 with a hard plastic 90, and then flexi hose up to our T. So we're still working on trying to get everything to fit. Of course, we're going to make sure everything fits before we glue anything, and probably end up folding it a couple more times before we glue everything together to make sure that everything twists, pivots, that sort of thing before we actually get it all set into place. This planner was also originally equipped with markers, and this customer actually runs RTK on his tractor with Ag Leader and has already went through and done all of his boundaries. So he will actually be using SmartPath to drive around the edges of his field. So he has actually opted to take the the planner markers off, which is great in our opinion because that just gives us more room for mounting all of this tube and generator and all the other stuff that we have to have up here. So we've got a number of hoses coming up here. We've actually got 3 hoses that go to our generator that come from our hydraulic valve block for our SureForce back there in the center. We've got 2 hoses that come out here to this cylinder that are for our hydraulic weight transfer. and for our gull wing when we pick up the planter, because it's got lift assist, so it actually will gull wing the ends of the planter to allow us to help turn around, so that way we don't potentially drag the ends of the planter in the ground. And then it's also got 2 hydraulic hoses that jump from this row over here for our hydraulic downforce back out to this wing. So we've got a total of 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 hoses that have to follow this bar out here. So if we jump over to the right side, it's actually going to be way easier to do the right side than the left side, because all we will have over here is 1 electrical cord that comes out for our high current power for our sure speed. We will have 1 local can that jumps from this row on the inside to the outside row. And then we will have 2 hydraulic hoses for our hydraulic downforce that jumps from that row over to the closest row, of course, because the less hydraulic hose we use, the better. And then we will have the 2 hoses that I have not reran that go to our hydraulic downforce / gull wing. So this side will have a lot less going on, which is, in my opinion, great, because I've been struggling with this left side trying to get everything to line up and not pinch or twist or get caught on anything. So yeah, this is our little update on our project that we've been working on. Kind of go over here. This white is actually getting sure drives put on it. It has been here since, let's see, I think it's been here since August. Of course, with harvest going on, customer wasn't real excited about getting stuff done or anything like that, just as long as it gets done before planting. But he was nice enough to drop it off, so when we get the opportunity to, we can start working on it. Let's see. This Haggy STS-10 will be getting ag leader right spot with boom loop. Parts are not yet ordered for it, but the customer locked in the deal with us, and we're like, hey, if you guys want to, you guys can bring it in. That way, when we get the parts and we're in a lull between jobs, we can start working on this. And then this Kinsey 3600 is going to get fully rebuilt, so all the row units need work. We are actually going to be putting 05 series parallel arms on this. We will go to the 05 series disc openers. So with the 05 series disc openers, they go to a double row bearing. So basically, instead of having just one bearing, you'll have like double rows like your Coulters would have in them, or similar anyway. They're a little bit narrower, but not much. And then, of course, he's got smart boxes on it. So all these fenders need to be re-welded, because he doesn't want to spend the money to put all new fenders on, which will add up. And then we are taking the ground drive, because right now it's set up as a ground drive. We will be taking all of that off and our springs off, and we are going to go to SureForce and Sure Drives from Ag Leader. So we'll be mounting a hydraulic block and a generator on this planter. And with it being just a straight 16, we have a lot of real estate that we can go ahead and mount our generator or hydraulic block wherever we want. So we haven't quite decided yet where we're going to put it, but I'm guessing we will put it out here on either the left or the right wing. Probably going to be the right wing, set it up towards the center or towards the front. And then we will have some hoses and some electrical to run with that. So all in all, we've got a full shop right now, but we are slowly getting through all of our projects, and we have quite a few more bigger projects going to be coming in this winter for next spring. So pretty excited about all the things coming. And oh, I almost forgot. Over here On the other side of this 3600, we have a 12-row 3205 Kinsey planter. So we've got this to put together. This is actually our first planter that we have sold as a Kinsey dealer. It will be going out for spring of 25. As you can see, it comes in mostly put together, at least as far as the bar goes. We got to put the tongue and we got to put the markers on. And then, of course, we've got to put all of our row units on. This customer actually opted to go with cable drives because on his prior planter, he was having issues with chain. And he really likes the idea of the John Deere cable drives, but John Deere actually does not offer a finger pickup or a finger meter anymore. So he came to us, and Kinsey still makes a finger meter. They put it on several of their planters, and we were able to get him locked in on a 3205. So pretty excited about this planter. Going to be doing cable drives, clutches on every row, and planter monitoring. So pretty excited about all the things to come. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Well, that's about all I've got for today for our shop project overview. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will be trying to be a little better at getting videos posted to both TikTok and YouTube as we get through our projects and get through them and complete them. So that way you guys can see how we do things. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We have Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Feel free to message us on any of those platforms or give us a call. So find us online at www.youngbloodag.com. We've got a nice page up there, and we are actually working on revamping it. But we've got a contact page up there if you want to get a hold of us for any project that you might be interested in trying to get us to work on. So thanks for watching.